Welcome to Tech Extranet. I bet you have your Tailscale installation done wrong. It's not your fault. Tailscale doesn't do a good job explaining a couple things to people and even making it so that it would be more user-friendly to create. I'm going to go over the setting that you probably are missing, and we'll go over why you need it and what you can do to fix it. Now, if you're not sure what Tailscale is, it's a remote access solution. You can see it here on the website at tailscale.com. It allows you to essentially connect to your home or work network directly and access any of the resources that are at that location. You can combine this with home automation, you can combine it with servers. It's really spectacular. For businesses, it's excellent. And then what's even better is that it is free. So if you look here at the pricing, you'll notice we have the first price starting at $6 and up. But if you scroll here to the left, you'll see that Personal is free right here. So what's great about it is that you could just install it for your house, and they figure that if you use it at your house and you love it, then you might recommend it for the office or your company. So keep that in mind. But a lot of people set it up and then don't know that there's a couple things that you need to do. I'm going to go over the one big thing that people forget or don't even know that you could do, partially because they don't really make it simple or easy. But essentially, when you're connecting to Tailscale, you need to connect to a DERP server. And if you just search Google for DerpMap, it's a good way to get to where you need to go. If you forget, you'll see that there's a Tailscale document about DERP servers. In here, it explains to you what they are so you understand, and you'll understand here that they're all over the world. Now, your machine, through a command called Tailscale netcheck, you can at least see what it's doing. It actually sends packets to each of these countries and then sees which one is the lowest latency, and then it'll go ahead and connect you. Now, I don't necessarily recommend using all these other countries, and there's some organizations even that can't and shouldn't send data to these countries. So if you scroll down, you'll notice that there is a link here that they're telling you that you can download. But instead, if you just copy it and then go to a browser, you'll notice that this is the actual list of all their current DERP servers. And so if you look at this list, obviously it could change, it could morph, they could add different sites or different locations, cities. You just want to make sure that you check this regularly, especially if you're managing it. But essentially the idea is that you don't want to have your gear going to countries that you don't need. So what I've done here is I went to ChatGPT's free page just so I could show you that you could just do something functional. So if you have a list like this and you just really don't want to deal with bothering with it, you can go to ChatGPT. You can go ahead and paste the path of that page. You can tell the system to extract the region IDs in their country or city into a table. So you'll notice here are all the countries and the cities. So if you're in a different country than the United States, I'll show you what to do with the script. But if you are in the United States, you can see how the script is done. But at least I want to make sure that you get the idea of how it functions. What you're going to do is you're going to be going to the access controls here along the top when you log into your account. And you're normally going to see this tag owners, and you're going to see this ACLs possibly, or at least these two comments. It is a little bit confusing. You might not be comfortable with it, but you'll get the hang of it after a while. Also, you might have to switch from visual editor to JSON editor when you're in access controls. And then sure enough, you want to paste this in. What this is actually saying is right here. I'll put it in the description as well for you. But what this is actually saying is that if you are using site 11, for example, do not use it. If you're using 14, do not use it. So these are going to be all the non-US regions, and when you put them in here, boom, your machine will not use them. So what's spectacular about that is then when you do the Tailscale netcheck command, the netcheck command will tell you how the connectivity is to each of the cities, and technically it will then not bother sending any traffic in any way to those other countries. I think also in this list is Hawaii. So if you wanted to not include Hawaii. That's, I believe, so it's Honolulu. So it's number 24. So if you look in this list, we do not have a 24 blocked. So that means we are still sending to Honolulu. In our case, we were fine with anything in the United States. We just stuck with it. So we did that and we were good to go. One thing to note is we did have a couple different travelers in different countries, and we played around a little bit recently where we wanted to allow some of the countries that they were close to in Europe, for example, where they could get some multiple options. Funny enough, a couple remote users were using servers in, I guess, San Francisco, even though they had other servers that were closer. But sure enough, Tailscale still wanted to use San Francisco. The ping time was much lower. But that's what Tailscale does, is it picks the server that has the lowest ping, and then it uses that to proceed and operate. I have one more bonus tip for you. If you want to be either somewhat lazy or have the luxury of being able to pick the different countries as you need, you can head over to derpmap.techextranet.com. Once you go here, you'll notice an interface that's pretty sweet. It actually talks to Tailscale and figures out what cities in the different countries are available, and then creates this list. If there's any new countries in the list in the future, it'll just call them unknown, but list the name of the actual city, so you can still use it, and we'll probably keep this up to date. But you can go ahead and you'll see that USA only is already selected to begin with, but you can toggle between blocking the selected or you can allow the selected. So what happens here, if I click on allow selected, that's going to allow every country or city that's not in the US, and you'll notice down here below that the derp map changes. It now says that it's going to block all the US cities. If we go ahead and click on block selected, which is what it loads up with, you'll see that it's blocking any other countries that are not in the USA. And you can go ahead and customize this for whatever you need, and you can go ahead and click the copy JSON button, and you can then paste that into the Tailscale site. There's also a short little help to help you out while you're using it if you have questions or need to go over the details again. And that's the solution. Also want to mention you can click this button, and as long as it's a Tailscale site, you can actually pop it in here. If they come out with a different link or something breaks the existing one, but it's made for the purposes of trying to be resilient. That way it works no matter what. I hope this helps, so then you could use it to lock down your Tailscale connections for your office or for your home. Let me know if this helped. Let me know if you're using Tailscale, and I'd be excited to see if you're having good luck with it or if you like a different product. And let me know if you'd like more videos on this in the future. It would be nice for me to know if this content helps you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and make sure to check out the rest of my videos.